Hey everybody, welcome to the Lesser Saints of Discord, your one and only pre-show to the YouTube Saints. Coming at you live every Friday at 4:35. I guess.
It's
right
not
before the YouTube Saints.
45.
Yeah. 4:35? Yeah. Anyways, this is the show where we talk about news in the YouTube Saints Discord and then talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about.
Pretty much
Anyways,
it's just talking about whatever the fuck we
Rimshee.
want to talk about. And apparently almost dying.
Yeah. I almost died last week, and Rimshee almost died this week.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about Addie.
Miss Rimshee was pissed because the past 2 nights I have literally had night sweats like no tomorrow.
Did she think he pissed the bed?
No, but that's only because she knew that I was sweating. And by that I mean it's highly unlikely that I'm gonna piss my pillow as well.
So you finally had to sleep in the wet spot.
You have no idea.
No.
By the way, if I don't sound 100%, that's because I'm still getting over it.
Yeah.
Okay. I've just got like a little bit of a sniffle.
Oh, cough drops, come here.
Anyways.
Yeah. So right now, I guess we're speaking to the VOD. Oh no, the VOD and Spec, because until Spec came in, it was literally just us watching the stream.
That's fine. Most of our viewers are afterwards anyway, and they'll get that joke because it's right at the top. So.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spec missed out. So.
Yep.
Well, here's the fun thing. The reason we're starting a little bit late is because somehow OBS got switched from YouTube to Twitch.
Brilliant.
I broke into your house and did that to see if you'd notice.
I hate you.
Oh my god.
Or maybe you changed it in a feverish dream.
Yeah, probably not.
So.
Alright, let's do our first thing.
Well, we gotta talk a little bit about stuff in the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
For anyone, this is kind of not directly Discord related, but it also is at the same time. Anessa says that asked me to post this as an announcement, which I will do on Sunday. Remind me of this, Jables. But for anyone listening, she says and I'm going to be quoting here, so this is not me talking. We're preparing to get the invites finalized and ready for mailing. If you would like an official invite to the wedding, please send either your physical or physical mailing address for a physical invitation, or your email address for an email version to Anessa. Don't bother sending it to Erudite Fuzz. He's planning on just showing up. Even if you're not sure you're going to show or no, you can't show, feel free to request an invitation.
Cool. Well,
beyond that, just check out the announcements page. Last time we on Sunday, I uploaded the most recent changes, and there may be some changes in the future. We're looking at different personnel moves and all that, but nothing set in stone at the moment. Those changes will be announced as they show up.
yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. I think that's it for the Discord. I can't
It
think
sounds
of
like
anything else.
that's about it. If it's not, fuck it. I don't think there's anything else. To be fair, I haven't been in the Discord most of this time because I've been trying to survive. But, fuck it. Let's move forward. Oh, shit.
Biotech Babe mentioned in the chat that the stream is buffering like a motherfucker. I'm noticing it too.
Alright, I'll fix that.
Okay. While he's fixing that, Addie, you've been gone for a while. Have you been okay overall?
Oh, well, very sweet of you to ask. Yeah, I've been alright. I've been holding up. A little down in the dumps, a little mopey, but my job keeps me on my toes and helps keep me on the straight and narrow. Keeps my mind on what's important. So, thanks for asking. I've been doing alright.
Yeah. Did you get your water pipe fixed?
Yeah, we did. We did. There's a giant fucking hole cut in the ceiling, but the landlord's gonna take care of that, so.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Mm.
Good to hear.
Yeah.
I think that might have fixed it. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Alright.
Hopefully it has, otherwise I'll just have to figure this shit out again. Holy fuck.
Yeah.
So our first article, just because we have to talk about it. Because everybody's talking about it.
Oh shit, hold on.
We have to talk about it for clicks, right?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Right, Rimshee? We have to talk about the Covington Catholic School kids, right? Right?
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
We
give
gotta
me a
get those
second.
clicks, right?
Give me a second. God damn. Alright. Alright. Alright, alright, alright.
Okay,
And
is it up
we
now?
will do this shit. Yes,
sorry.
you could. We can talk about it now. Stupid
okay.
shit got everything got jacked up in OBS for me. So hopefully shit's fixed.
Okay. Yeah, so we're not talking about this because I don't give a fuck about it. Everybody else is talking about it. I haven't been able to watch shit on YouTube for the past fucking week because there's 20,000 fucking videos and it's filling up my fucking subscriber feed. And we will not do that to you.
Good.
But check out the title of this
Hi,
article
Bio.
nonetheless.
Oh, Bio, can I come over to your house? I want tacos.
You want tacos? I am gonna stay away from that. I need to be a good boyfriend.
You cooties, no.
Yeah. Covington boys, the difference between jerks and monsters.
I did read over a little of this. It's basically the slate going from the left being all, oh well, this is all about them being they're acting like the victims. This is horrendous. Shut up, bitch.
Yeah. Hundreds of blue check marks threatening to blow up the school. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we're done with that. I'm so fucking tired of it.
Oh yeah.
I've
No,
heard every single angle of it.
we can move on now.
Okay. Let's talk about the real
Bridges.
news. Yep. Big Lebowski is making a comeback. What does Jeff Bridges' cryptic Big Lebowski video mean?
Means we're all dead. We've all been dead. Everyone's dead. Fuck us all.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. Fuck. Don't kill. Just weeks after receiving the Cecil B. DeMille Award and celebrating his storied career at the Golden Globes, Jeff Bridges is revisiting one of his most iconic characters. Bridges took to Twitter to post a 15-second video in which he just walks into a bar, decked out in a familiar sunglasses and sweater combo that leads us to wonder, is this Return of the Dude? Or are we getting a sequel to The Big Lebowski? Question mark?
No.
And then, yeah,
No.
are you gonna play it? Or are you just gonna leave it?
No, I'm gonna scroll past. Fuck it. I mean,
Yeah.
oh fuck it. How long is it?
15 seconds.
Fuck it.
We're all recovering from sicknesses, just so everybody knows, so we're all a little fucking off it.
We're all dead. Everyone's dead. We're all dying.
I'm gonna blow snot rockets right into the mic.
Oh, I'm lucky. I just used a nasal spray to fucking clear this shit up. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. Alright.
Oh, she's probably at work.
Yeah. And it ends with the date 2/3/19.
Biotech bag. That was an answer for you, by the way. She's probably at work.
Hold on. The Coen brothers has said they won't make a follow-up to the 1998 film, and the video doesn't suggest they've changed their minds, unfortunately. The date at the end, February 3rd, leads us to believe that this is in fact the teaser for a Super Bowl commercial. However, while we're here, whatever happened to that Big Lebowski spin-off? While neither the Coen brothers nor Bridges were ever involved in the project, John Turturro got permission from his longtime collaborators to reprise his role of Jesus Quintana in his movie Going Places. Turturro's film, which is reportedly co-stars Bobby Cannavale, Susan Sarandon, and Audrey...
Susan Sarandon.
Sarandon.
Because she matters.
Yeah.
Wow.
Was said to be both a spin-off of The Big Lebowski and a remake of a 1974 French film. Filming began in 2016 and the movie was expected to be released in 2017, but it never materialized. Its IMDb page now lists a release date of this year. Ooh. In spite of all the evidence to the contrary, you might still choose to believe that Bridges' Twitter video is hinting at a full-blown Coen-sanctioned sequel. Yeah, well... You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I totally called it. It's just a teaser for like a Super Bowl ad.
Well, it might be a Super Bowl ad leading into an actual trailer. You never know.
I mean, yeah, I guess we'll have to wait and see. I won't know until someone tells me about it because I don't watch fucking sports ball.
I stopped caring about the Super Bowl when they stopped having actually good Super Bowl halftime shows. Like, they used to have shit that was actually pretty cool, like back when they had Indiana Jones running up to get... I forget what it was. But it was an actual show. It wasn't just some stupid concert.
Yeah. Yep. And back when they chose relevant people to do the shows. I remember my favorite one was Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson. Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh boy.
Man, I remember seeing that live. They cut away real quick during that.
I wish I had seen it live. That would have been funny as fuck.
Yeah. Yep. So that's it for that article.
Yeah. But still.
I'm not going to be able to read this straight. Rimshee, you want to read this this next one? That's what's happening in my state.
Senate bill would ban dwarf tossing at bars in Washington state.
Bullshit, right, guys?
It's bullshit, I tell you. Olympia, Washington. Dwarf tossing contests would be banned in Washington state under a bill sponsored by State Senator Mike Payton. He's a Republican. Okay, anyway, that's irrelevant. Senate Bill 5846 would ban dwarf tossing at bars and strip clubs and end the activity which Payton says demeans and exploits those of smaller stature. He sounds like a damn liberal.
Yeah.
The bill would also ban other recreational activities that endangers the health, safety, and welfare of any person with dwarfism. Payton said he became interested when someone made him aware of a dwarf tossing contest last October at a strip club in Spokane Valley. There's nothing funny about dwarf tossing, Payton said.
Hold on, did you say Spokane?
Yep.
It's Spokane, dude.
I don't fucking care right now. You're lucky I spoke. Shut up. People who are advocates for little people note that persons with dwarfism are particularly susceptible to spine and neck injury. It ridicules and demeans people with dwarfism and causes others to think of them as objects of public amusement. Even when participants are willing, it exposes them to the possibility of lifetime spinal injury. Dwarf tossing is an offense to our sensibilities, Payton added. Payton's legislation applies to contestants and promotions involving adults shorter than 4 foot 10 inches in height. Pardon me, sorry. A hearing on the bill is set for 10 a.m. January 31st before Senate Law and Justice Committee.
Hey, Spect Aguilar, you aren't hanging out in the right places. I can tell you that. Okay, here's a few problems that I have with this. They're signing up for it. It's totally voluntary. They accept the risks. It's like a football player and the potential to get CTE.
Exactly.
This is a sport. This isn't just an amusement thing. This is a sport. And I thought Republicans were supposed to be all about creating jobs, not taking them away and fucking sheltering people. What the fuck is this shit?
This is the bastard right here.
You, sir, are discriminating against little people in their right to do what they want. This is not the libertarian way.
Also, when he said it's offensive to our sensibilities, does he mean like his people, or like in his state, or does he just mean like people in general? Because don't speak for my sensibilities, man. I've got some fucked up sensibilities.
Here's the reality. Here's the reality behind it all. If it's a voluntary action, that should be permitted. Period.
Mm-hmm. If some dwarfs are willing to be tossed around, let them be tossed around. Bring back... Dwarf wrestling is illegal in a lot of places now. I don't see why.
It's demeaning.
I don't give a fuck. It's not demeaning.
If they're not demeaned by it, then who are you to tell them to be demeaned? Fuck you!
Yeah.
Is being a clown demeaning? Only if you have the wrong attitude about it.
In all honesty, I think this is good intentions, wrong place.
Yeah.
But I am a little surprised it's coming from a Republican. They're not usually the ones who get offended on behalf of other people.
Oh,
at least in this fashion.
Yeah, they are totally paid to do it. For a lot of them, it's their job. They just go in once a week and they get tossed for a little bit.
And it pays for everything.
And they get padding, helmets, all that shit. Like, they aren't just like being naked. They're not just like being picked up by the clothes and tossed. There's like a legit harness, and they get helmets and all sorts of pads. And there's like pads and where they're being tossed to. It's relatively safe overall, but there's always that risk. It's like I had the football analogy earlier.
It's about as safe as walking around during the day. If you're doing it all day.
Less safe than that.
Well,
it's a little less safe.
No, it's about as safe as walking around the city all day for an entire week.
Yeah, all day on the street.
Yeah,
for an entire day. Yeah.
This includes sidewalks, crossing the street, all that stuff.
Well, if you keep in mind, his attention was brought to it because his buddy brought him to a strip club where they did it. That was in the article.
Is
Dude,
it?
he's a total killjoy. I bet he walked into that place and he was like, "All these women are being oppressed. We need to end strip joints."
No, it was brought to his attention by a buddy that invited him to watch it at a strip club.
No, that's not what it said. It said, Payton said he became interested when someone made him aware of a dwarf tossing contest last October at a strip club.
Oh.
They didn't say his buddy brought him there. it was probably his wife trying to spice up their love life.
Damn it.
Honey, can we just get a dwarf to bring into the bedroom?
You can toss him around a little bit. Strong man you are.
This is an affront to our sensibilities. I need to end this. Oh my god. The only way that I'm going to be able to turn my wife down on this is if I pass a law saying it's illegal.
Honey, look at these men. They're so strong. Look at how far they can toss that dwarf.
Hey, honey, how far can you toss that dwarf? This must be banned!
Hashtag...
so this is Go ahead.
Hashtag masculinity so fragile.
Yeah. So, if anybody else lives in Washington State, this is a blight on our society, and we should write to our congresspeople and senators and get them to have this not go through.
Let's be fair. Washington is a blight on society.
Seattle is a blight on society.
Okay, all right.
The rest of Washington is pretty fair.
Fair enough.
All right.
Except for Spokane. Spokane's just full of juggalos.
I'm going to stop you right there. It's pronounced Spokane.
I'm going to stop you right there because I grew up there.
I'm going to stop you right there because fuck it.
Are we going to have a Okay. The natives called their tribe the Spokane tribe, not the Spokane tribe.
Oh my fucking god.
I fucking went there.
Well, just because they were first doesn't mean they were right. You can be first and wrong.
Hey, Giovanni.
If you're gonna call it anything other than Spokane, you can call it Spokandyland, Spokompton, Spokanistan, Spokanada.
Spokane, bitch.
Fuck off.
Fuck off straight to the moon, motherfucker.
I mean, okay, so...
Speaking of which...
Wait, one last thing. Spect actually has a pretty good point. He said the...
He's mad the dwarf was hung.
yeah. Well, if you think about it, the, like, penis to body ratio of a dwarf would make anyone's look tiny. So,
Plus, he's hanging from a harness.
Yeah.
There's a comedian, Brad Williams. Go look him up. He's a midget comedian. He likes the word midget, so I'm okay to say that about him. He literally has a bit about how his hangs to his knee. It's not that big, but it hangs to his knee regardless.
I mean, you could put that like on your online dating profile. You don't have to mention that you're a little person. You can just say, "Hey, my dick goes to my knee." That's the hook, and then you can...
No, it's a straight shot. It's not hooked.
Oh god. Listen,
I mean, it curves a little, but still.
Some people are born with difficulties, Rimshee.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I'm just imagining a dick that just totally hooks and curves down.
It button hooks right at the end, it's literally just a quick old whoop, and it shoots right back up.
I was thinking like a candy cane.
Well, that's basically a button hook. Yeah, no, like a candy cane, and that's when it's soft.
Have you seen what was it? Naked Gun 33 1/3?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a big reveal towards the end of the movie with one of the characters, and it's shaped like Gonzo's nose.
Yeah. I vaguely remember that.
Well, at least that's relatively straight. Why are we talking about genitalia that curve weird? Although now I'm just imagining if that was how our genitalia were naturally supposed to be, and insertion would cause it to hook in and you couldn't pull out till it was flaccid again.
I'm trying to think up rules for like a Thunderdome that involves that.
Like a cat dick?
Like a cat dick, but it's not barbs. It's just, it hooks in and it's like, yeah, no, without it going flaccid, it's just kind of...
That's difficult. Have you guys seen those those anti-rape devices that women have been using in some third world countries? It's all barbed and everything, so when somebody
dear lord,
it fucking just grabs it.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the best part, you know, I would hope that those can come out relatively easily of the lady, because that way
they can.
Good. Well, I mean, once deployed, because that way he pulls out and he's like, oh shit, and he's like, okay, I'm not going back in there. I've got to run away and figure out a way to get this off my dick without completely destroying it. Well, now he has to go to the hospital and they gotta, like, or to the hardware store or something. And you're not going to pull your pants back up over that because it's going to be digging into your dick the whole time. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to be pleasant as it is.
It has to be surgically removed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like a diaphragm, but it has a bunch of barbs on the inside of it, so once you go in, you're not getting out. It'll come out of the lady, but it's not coming off of you.
And it's... When you pull out, it digs in, so in order to pull out, you've got to dig it in more, which is going to hurt more, and it's going to create a negative feedback loop where he's going to be... But he's not going to... It's going to be an interesting moment, because she could just be like, no, push off. He's like, ah!
Yeah, you know what, Rimshee, I'll send you a pic.
No, I've seen these. I've seen these before.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Addie, have you seen them?
No, but I'm like imagining it, and like this could be the only time I'd almost feel bad for a rapist. Dear God, that's fucking archaic and evil. But hey, if you're gonna rape people, you know, like
I don't feel that bad.
Yeah, I can't really feel that bad. But as someone that has,
that's really terrible too.
Yeah. As someone that has that kind of equipment down there, yeah, I'm kind of sympathetic a little bit, just a little bit.
Not enough to matter.
Oof. Big oof.
Yeah. Yep. Little big oof.
But I like Biotech Babe with teeth. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever heard of that movie Teeth?
Yep. I still haven't seen it.
I haven't either. Apparently, it's about a chick who has teeth in her vag, which is actually a real thing. But for the most part, women can't control those teeth. But in the film, she can control it, and she bites off dudes' dicks. And I don't know how she finds this out, but at some point she's raped, and she goes on a spree to bite off all those dudes' dicks with her vag mouth.
Yeah, I have a buddy that claims that movie is the reason why he's gay.
Oof.
But yeah, teeth in the vag are real.
Yeah, that's actually a real thing that can happen.
So, other than the biting off bit.
And generally people get them removed, but, you know.
Think about that the next time you get a rando hookup.
No, thanks. I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Are you uncomfortable now?
I forgot to mention.
I'm
sorry. I'm trying to get a band. Addie, if you want to look into the chat real quick.
Oh no! Oh.
Sorry, still looking.
Are we ever going to talk about the moon?
That's kind of amazing.
Actually, that fits in pretty well. Let's talk about the rectal flute real quick, and then we'll talk about the full moon.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Yeah, Jable still wants to put together a band of recto flute players.
Jeff said he's in. He's wondering.
You know what? I'm in too.
Sweet. All right, we got 3 people.
Fuck. If necessary, I'll make it the quartet. I have enough air pass through the flute to make it worthwhile, I suppose.
It's all about Taco Bell, my dude. Yeah. I want to start a whole orchestra of these. Okay. Anybody? Have you put the image up on screen at all?
Nope.
Or would we get pulled for that?
I'm just not gonna do it. Go check out the Discord, which you're probably already a part of. Jables will put it in not safe for work.
Maybe.
No, he will. Because otherwise I will beat him like a redhead stepchild. I swear I'll do it.
Okay, I'll do it. But my whole idea for the rectiflute was,
moving on to the full moon.
Okay. Man, there's a real good punchline to that. Fine. Anyways, it's your turn.
I just read the Senate bill. It's your turn.
Oh, yeah. Ah, shit. In New Moon Race, NASA values teamwork over competition with China and others.
Fucking mistake.
For those of you that don't know, China launched a rover to the moon. We've been covering that for the last few weeks. And we didn't do shit until now, after all of a sudden China proved that you can germinate a cotton seed in a little biosphere on the moon. Yeah. Now that China has landed the Change 4 moon aircraft on the side of the moon and on the far side of the moon, and India is preparing to launch its Chandrayaan-2 mission to the lunar surface.
Change 4 moon aircraft?
Spacecraft. Fuck it. You're fine. I was thinking about other things. Like the recto flute needs lots of air for that. Mission to the lunar surface later this year. It may seem like the old space race is making a comeback, with other space agencies around the world making big plans for future lunar exploration. Will NASA be left in the moon dust? Witty writer. I'm a witty writer, alright? Yeah.
I don't get it.
It's a dad joke.
It's a dead joke.
Oh.
I think time will tell, former NASA astronaut and moonwalker Harrison Schmitt said during a town hall meeting with members of the National Space Council on January 9th, at the 233rd meeting of the American Astronomical Society in Seattle. This happened here? What the fuck? We will see whether Congress or the administration will recognize that there's a competition out there and start to invest more in the space program, he added. For now, rather than reigniting the decades-old space race to catch up with newcomers, NASA is aiming to take a more collaborative approach by partnering up with countries like China and India, whose lunar adventures have only just begun. So, you weren't thinking about doing anything as cool as they've been doing, so now you're trying to glom onto their success.
Yeah.
This is not the American way.
No. This could be the American way. Think about it from this perspective. We're gonna glom onto their success, steal all of their ideas, and then do them first.
Yeah.
We did do that with the Nazis. Operation Paperclip, look it up. Americans first walked on its surface almost 50 years ago, but the next wave of lunar exploration will be fundamentally different. NASA officials said in this will be fundamentally different, NASA officials said in a statement. As NASA works toward a plan to sustainably return to the moon, it will be critical to collaborate with both commercial and international partners along the way. This approach will enable human expansion across the solar system and bring back to Earth new knowledge and opportunities. As the first and only space agency ever to put humans on the moon, NASA technically won the moon race decades ago, but no astronauts have set foot on the moon since Schmidt and his Apollo 17 crewmate Eugene Cernan left more than 46 years ago. The last time NASA launched a mission to the moon was in 2013 when the agency sent the Lunar Atmosphere and Dust Environment Explorer, Lady, spacecraft on an intentional collision course to the lunar surface other than the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter, which has been circling the moon since 2009. NASA currently doesn't have much of a presence on or around the moon. Yeah, I've been focusing on Mars. In 2017, President Donald J. Trump called for NASA to turn humans to the moon with the signing of his Space Policy Directive 1, an official recommendation that was approved by the newly formed National Space Council. A cornerstone of this new objective will be NASA's Lunar Orbital Platform Gateway, a proposed moon orbiting space station that will enable human exploration of the moon as well as other deep space destinations like Mars. Makes sense. Wait, did Donald Trump do something good?
Apparently. And they're giving him credit for it. I don't know which one's more surprising.
Interesting.
Well, it's space.com. They don't give a fuck about politics, so...
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That is definitely true.
Just want to go to space.
Yeah, they just want to advance science.
Science!
This is where we've been getting most of the China articles from, because nobody else is reporting on it. Through an innovative combination of missions involving commercial and international partners, NASA's robotic lunar surface missions will begin as early as 2020. Focus on scientific understanding of lunar resources and prepare the lunar surface for a sustained human presence. Ooh. NASA officials said the agency protects that it will put humans on the moon again in the late 2020s. Ooh. This could be fun. We might see moon colonies within our lifetime from the sounds of things.
That could be cool.
Yeah. Schmidt said that a little competition, well, especially, never mind, we'll get into it. Schmidt said that a little competition between the new space superpowers of the world can be very positive. It's certainly positive for human spaceflight, as well as for space science. For example, if it weren't for the political tension between the US and the Soviet Union that followed the launch of Sputnik 1, NASA astronauts may not have made it to the moon when they did, if at all. With Congress feeling immense political pressure at the time, NASA's annual budget skyrocketed. But as the space race died down in the 1970s, so did the generous financial support.
I'm gonna just expand this real quick. Whoa, shit, that's pretty big. And it's completely off screen.
Yay.
What are you expanding?
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay.
Oh god, it even gets bigger.
Oh. Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was the most it has ever been was maybe 4.5% of the federal budget. Is what it's saying. And that was between 64 and 67. So 64, 65, 66. It was roughly 4.5% of the U.S. budget from the looks of it. Maybe even 4.25. You could it may have been 4.25. That's what that's saying right there. Right there.
Alright.
Alright.
Sparking another heated competition could be an effective way to convince lawmakers to dramatically boost NASA's funding. The agency instead hopes to move forward with a more peaceful team-building approach. I don't like it. I like competition.
Even if it's just friendly competition.
Yeah. It can be team building. You can like leak little things to each other, like, hey, check out this cool thing we found out. But don't show them the big shit, of course.
Oh, or more accurately, hey, look what we did. Check this out. This is gonna work better.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's better than our stuff. Alright, we'll put that on our stuff too, because that is better.
Yeah. Things may evolve in ways we don't anticipate. But as of now, the Lunar Orbital Gateway is envisioned to be institutionally a bit like the International Space Station. Back to what you said, Rimshee, though. Yeah. Have them all in separate teams. Show off their shit. Be like, fuck you, ours is better. And then everybody uses it. And then give everybody credit. That's friendly competition.
Yeah, no, in reality, competition is the best way to proceed. Whether it's friendly, like how we're suggesting, or how it was during the space race era, where it was true competition with a lot less friendly nature.
Well, okay, during the space race era, everybody thought those astronauts were gonna die.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit not so healthy competition. Like, we're strapping them to a bomb. They're going there, maybe.
Actually, NASA did its job to try and make sure that they didn't. They planned on them not dying. Russia, not so much.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway, like with this friendly competition, you have multiple teams working on the same problem. They're not going to come to the same conclusions 90% of the time. There will be times where, yeah, they do come to the same conclusion. They do come up with the same design. Because it's the best possible option and they all come to that conclusion. But there are going to be times where they're going to come up with different ways to solve the same problem. And it's going to happen more often than not. Is one way going to be better than others? Absolutely! But you're not going to find the best option if Mr. Big Brain over there isn't letting anyone overtalk him and they have to try his idea when Shy Guy New Guy over here actually has the best idea, but it isn't willing to try and talk over shit for brains over there. You're going to end up with a much better product if you let people try different things and try their different ideas.
Oh, for sure. Alright. Anyways. Competition is always good. That's pretty much it. And you should let everybody have a voice at the table. Alright. Where was I? I lost my place. Thanks, Rimshee.
Shut up.
Okay. There we go. Things may evolve in ways we don't anticipate as of now. The Lunar Orbital Gateway is envisioned to be institutionally a bit like the International Space Station, meaning that the international partners all work together in a shared space, said David Thompson, founder and former chief executive of Orbital ATK and a member of the National Space Council's Users Advisory Group. Of course, humans are not yet living and working on or around the moon, but the international cooperation has already started with the latest robotic mission. When Change 4 landed on the moon, the China National Space Administration shared data with NASA so that the LRO could monitor the landing from orbit. Unfortunately, NASA was unable to get LRO into the right place at the right time to watch the impact, but the satellite still managed to scope the landing site afterward. So we spied on them with an orbiting satellite that we have around the moon. We're like, hey, I want to catch it. I want to catch it. I want to catch it. Okay, let's inspect the site. What's going on there? The biggest problem that I have with this is that nobody gave a fuck until that cottonseed germinated in that biosphere.
Yeah.
The European Space Agency is also looking into it. ESA is providing components for NASA's Orion crew capsule, which will begin launching astronauts beyond low Earth orbit in the 2020s. The European Service Module, ESA's contribution to Orion, was transported from an Airbus factory in Germany to NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida last November. Okay. NASA hasn't been quite as involved with the Chinese or Indian moon missions, or at least not directly with their construction and operation of the spacecraft. However, the agency still hopes to work together with those other spacefaring nations by sharing data that could be useful for future missions, NASA officials said. Meanwhile, NASA is working with 9 private U.S. companies that will help the agency through its future endeavors. These companies will develop and build robotic landers that will carry NASA and other customers' payloads to the lunar surface, NASA officials said. As NASA works toward its plan to sustainably return to the moon, it will be critical to collaborate with both commercial and international partners along the way. This approach will enable human expansion across the solar system and bring back to Earth new knowledge and opportunities. Done. Alright. Another thing that's going on that they don't talk about in this article that I stumbled across, I thought they were going to talk about it in here, is that England's space program is actually looking to do some lunar mining. That's one reason why they're trying to partner up.
Get off our land, bitch!
Yeah, we flagged it, motherfucker. That's how they try to run the fucking world. You don't have a flag? Okay. This is ours now.
Biotech babe, Elon Musk isn't gonna grow potatoes in his shit on Mars. He's gonna have someone else do it. He'll send up his shit with the potato seeds, and someone else is gonna do the hard work. He's just the idea man. Okay, he's a little more than the idea man.
Yeah, and he works on building prototypes.
Pardon me, sorry.
Yeah. Alright. Speaking of Elon Musk.
And the space agency, private space agencies that are going to be doing this stuff for him. After Thursday's test firing, SpaceX may be a month from commercial crew launch. Which is pretty interesting. On Thursday afternoon at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, SpaceX performed a hot fire test of the Falcon 9 rocket that will fly its first commercial crew demonstration mission. This flight will not carry crew members, but will serve as a test of the launch system, Crew Dragon spacecraft, and the company's ability to dock the vehicle safely with the International Space Station. More than 2 hours after the 4 p.m. Eastern Time test, in which the rocket first stage engines are fired for several seconds to simulate liftoff while the rocket is clamped down, SpaceX had yet to confirm whether the test was successful. Some early reports indicated the test did not undergo a full firing, which may or may not be a problem.
Wait a second. Wait. Are they saying they just fired the engines and kept it clamped down and didn't even actually try to launch it?
Yeah, they got the engine going with no liftoff.
The engine works, kind of. Maybe. Okay.
No, what it is it's a thrust test. I think in those clamps are sensors that test how much thrust is actually going, and if it's tilting in a specific direction or whatnot, so that they can test the actual thrust power, the sustained thrust of the engine, and test to make sure that it's not tilting one way or the other undesirably.
Okay, that's fair.
Otherwise, you could be launching something up that goes, "Oh, I'm going to New York!" And it becomes a kinetic missile.
That would be a problem.
Yeah. Thursday's act of firing the rocket, which will now be returned from the launch pad to SpaceX's horizontal integration facility at the company's Florida site, nevertheless represents a significant step forward for SpaceX and NASA. Typically, such a firing occurs 1 or 2 weeks before the launch of a rocket. NASA and SpaceX, however, have yet to confirm a launch date for the mission. The current public no earlier than date for the flight is February 16th, but sources indicate to ours, which is this website, that in terms of international planning, or internal planning, god damn, the current net date is February 23rd, referring to no earlier than.
February 23rd. That is... Ooh, that's a Saturday. Might have to do a special show for that one.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Readying Dragon. Before a formal launch date is set, officials with the company and space agency must still give the mission a green light during a final review process. These reviews will proceed despite the partial government shutdown, as key NASA personnel designated for the commercial crew program are continuing to work without pay in support of the flight, which apparently is no longer true. The government is funded for 3 weeks, or is open for 3 weeks, because...
Did they do that?
Huh?
Did they finally do that?
Yeah, apparently Trump has opened up the government for 3 weeks. Well, everyone is doing their shit, and Democrats are still holding fast to their stuff, and it kind of makes them look bad.
Yeah. It's fair enough. I'm glad people are finally getting paid. And
yeah, well, it means that they are going to get their paychecks. That's one of the important things. They're getting their paychecks.
They're getting their paychecks, and people that are relying on their government for housing and whatnot are going to be able to not be homeless.
So we can talk about that after.
I don't really want to. I just wanted to make that quick comment on it.
No, I meant we could talk about that after the show.
Okay.
Because we don't have an article for that. That was like breaking news today.
Yeah. Okay.
In addition to life support systems that can support up to 7 astronauts, the Crew Dragon has several key upgrades that must be tested in spaceflight, such as solar panels built into the spacecraft rather than extended panels. Provided the first demonstration mission proceeds as intended, SpaceX and NASA would spend the next several months reviewing data about the rocket and spacecraft's performance before moving towards a second crewed demonstration flight. Conceivably, the mission could happen as early as July, but more likely, the flight of NASA astronaut Doug Hurley and Bob Behnken would occur sometime later in the midsummer or early fall. And that is the end of that article, but it does kind of just abruptly end.
Yeah, it's a weird end.
But that's really cool.
Yeah. Rimshee, Addie, will you two fly to space with me?
Dude, I would leave you to fly to space. You kidding?
I'd rather everyone else go to space and I just stay here by myself.
Well, okay, I want Miss Rimshee and I to fly to space. I want us to get a room in a space hotel and enjoy that 0G.
Ooh. Careful. I was reading some articles the other day about the problems of shooting porn in GOG.
Yeah, but it's mostly about camera angles and grip.
Yeah. Just bouncing off of everything.
Well, as long as I'm not trying to do it for the camera.
Wear a helmet.
No, you get a padded honeymoon suite.
Ah, alright. That works.
I mean, come on. You don't think people think about this stuff?
No. I don't think people do. That's why you still see heart-shaped beds in some honeymoon suites.
I just got a, so someone just tried calling me. Obviously some sort of scammer or something, but the caller ID was Bare Essentials, but it's not spelled correctly.
Nice.
Oh, it should have been Bare Necessities.
That's something stupid, I'm sure. Anyway.
Bare necessities, the simple bare necessities.
But still, this is fucking cool. I want to fly to space. I want this stuff to work.
I'm excited. Elon Musk, it's amazing what that one hit joint did. Sorry, it was a blunt.
That actually was the store. I may have misunderstood the spelling. All right then. I don't know why they're calling me, but okay.
Oh. Okay. So, I think we're done with this. And I think it's time for...
Let's talk about whether or not Jables is an asshole again.
No, it's is Jables a living satire?
Same difference.
The answer is yes, but
We're at 2.5 out of 3 that we've covered so far. Keep in mind, I'm being generous, and I'm the one that generally finds these articles. So
yeah, but it hasn't been the first two. You were like, no, that's not me. The third one, you're like, this might be me, and it was half you.
Yeah.
So it seems that when you find these funny articles that you don't think are you, they're you.
I haven't read this one. I only grabbed the headline. So only black guy at this show really wishes I'd stop calling him that.
This already sounds like you. I'll be perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's kind of why I picked it. Let me start this one off by saying I don't think there's anything wrong with what's happening in this basement tonight. The opening band played like 9 minutes of Angry Fuzz, and the next band took like twice as long setting up their pedal boards. There's been a lot of drinking, a lot of throwing things onto the ground, and the porch is coated with a thick fog of vaporized marijuana. It's been a great show so far, and the icing on the cake, there's a black guy in the back wearing an X-Ray Specs shirt, and no one is making it into a weird thing. Inclusion is so important in the scene. I've been saying it for years, and I'll keep on saying it for years to come. It's absolutely necessary that we make sure people of color feel welcome at our shows. Music doesn't know race. Music is about feelings and energy, passion, and dancing. It's really great that our brother is in the back here tonight, making it all in, exploring new genre of the music, sharing cultural experiences with us. He's staring at me right now. Oh, this is so exciting. The last time I saw a black guy at a show was at an Oxbow concert, and it didn't really count because he was on stage and yelling, so you can imagine how I feel right now. A living part of history for this small town Minnesota punk scene. I know it can be tough to feel like you don't belong anywhere, and I just want him to know that the only single black person I've ever seen at a basement show doesn't have to feel like he's any different from the rest of us. I accept him completely as he is. Nobody thinks he's weird, or like he doesn't belong here. In my book, he's just like everyone else. He's so brave. I don't think I could do what he's doing. I don't think I could take it upon myself to bridge such an important gap between cultures and men for the greater good of the future. No one black person speaks for all black people, and it takes a special, unique individual like this man to show us that black people everywhere are just normal, everyday guys like me and him. When I tried thanking him, he told me he didn't do anything because he's so modest. I bet he doesn't even see color, just like me. We're all some people having a good time at a house show, and nobody is making a big deal about it.
You know, this sounds like something you would do when fucking high.
So let's see it in the chat. One if this is me, two if it's not.
In other words, forget that 2 button. This is him. Like, I've met you in person. This sounds exactly like something you would do and say when high. This doesn't sound like something you'd actually believe, but it sounds exactly like something you would do. I mean, how many times did you see, the only black guy in Seattle gave me permission?
Yeah.
Don't say it, you bitch.
Wait, I can't say...
No! 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 I swear to Christ, Jables.
It's called a joke, Rimshee. Jeez.
You're a walking, living joke.
Alright, nobody else is voting. It's just Liviana.
Yeah, well, she's in agreement with me.
I don't know what 3 means.
It means she's abstaining. See? Agreement! The vote has been cast.
Alright. Oh, man. So, now we're 3.5 out of 4 for satire articles that are me. I'm a living satire.
I mean, the only part of this that doesn't sound like something you would believe is the whole, oh, it's so brave. But it sounds like exactly something you would say and fuck around about if you thought it could get a laugh.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you're absolutely not wrong about that.
Like, this sounds like you fishing for a joke. Fishing for not fishing for a joke. Trying to make a joke, fishing for a laugh.
Yeah. Yep. You're
Let's move on to regeneration. God damn it, Jables.
Don't you want to live forever?
Complete axolotl genome could pave the way towards human tissue regeneration. What's up, Addie?
Addie's gone now.
Addie's gone. Everyone, Addie's gone.
Hi, sorry. I'm back. Sorry.
Okay. Moving forward with axolotl tissue regeneration. Well, let's go. The adorable and enigmatic axolotl is capable of regenerating many different body parts, including limbs, organs, and even portions of its brain. Scientists hope that a deeper understanding of these extraordinary abilities could help make this kind of tissue regeneration possible for humans. With new with news today of the first complete axolotl genome. Researchers can now finally get down to the business of unraveling these mysteries. Axolotls are tiny They're tiny aquatic salamanders whose only native habitat is a lake near Mexico City. Seriously? I did not know that.
I didn't know that either.
Many animals, such as frogs, sea stars, and flatworms, are capable of tissue regeneration. Wait, they're Mexican. Build the wall.
I certainly don't like them anymore.
Many animals, such as frogs, sea stars, and flatworms, are capable of tissue regeneration. But the axolotl is unique in that it can regenerate many different body parts over the course of its entire life cycle, including limbs, tail, heart, lungs, eyes, spinal cord, and up to half of its brain.
Holy shit.
Wow.
That's fucking rad.
Yeah.
And you were worried this would be too scientific, Addie. Oh shit, I forgot to put your face up there.
Oh, no one could have to see that.
We can edit in post.
No, we can't. Shut up.
No, I'm just gonna go, like, full disclosure. The reason I'm a little quiet is because I'm suddenly feeling really queasy. I don't know why. I didn't want to, like, be a punk and, like, just check out in the middle of the stream, but I'm not feeling great.
Addie, if you need to check out, you can check. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, we got 20 minutes left. If you need to check out, we'll just keep you up there.
Yeah.
Hi, Bar. Yeah, I'm gonna go. I might have to go hug my porcelain friend in the other room.
Oh, joy. Yeah. Everyone is sick this week, everyone. Everyone is sick this week.
Oh, God.
May the Lord Axolotl smile down on your recovery.
Thanks. Alright. Have a good night, guys. Sorry to check out
You
early.
too.
Yeah,
It's
all good.
Yeah.
So, continuing on with this. And yes,
Oh,
it
wait,
isn't...
hold on. Before you do that, yes, Bar, there's been some really promising stuff with stem cells. Unfortunately, in the U.S., there is a lot of restrictions on stem cell research. Which
red tape and all that shit.
Fucking abhorrent, in my personal opinion.
I can understand why it's there, but I disagree. But we can get into we can get into that later.
Yeah, we have plenty of time in the stream to get into that after this.
Alright, continuing on from where we were. In a scientific first, researchers from the University of Kentucky have assembled the axolotl genome, the details of which were published today in Genome Research. On its own, that may not sound so impressive, as many animals have had their genome sequenced in recent years. But considering the sheer size and complexity of the axolotl genome, which consists of 32 gigabases, or 32 billion base pairs. The axolotl genome is 10 times larger than the human genome, and is divided into 14 chromosomes. Think of it as a huge picture puzzle board, where the ultimate aim is to create 14 big pictures from the individual pieces of the puzzle. Prayag Marawala, a geneticist at the Research Institute of Molecular Pathology in Vienna, who wasn't involved with the new study, told Gizmodo. Building blocks of these 14 puzzles can be obtained by various sequencing technologies. However, the sequencing results do not tell you where each building block belongs. Indeed, previous work into the axolotl genome has yielded a tremendous amount of genetic data, but the challenge has been in correctly placing each puzzle block in the correct location. A genome must be assembled in the correct order for scientists to truly understand how it works. Genome sequencing and assembly are iterative processes. According to Randall Voss, the co-lead author of the new study and a professor in the University of Kentucky Spinal Cord Brain Injury Research Center, last year, his team researched a point where they had a manageable number of pieces to work with, around 125,000 large chunks of DNA. But they still had to organize these pieces into 14 extremely long linear DNA puzzles. We did this by using one of the most fundamental concepts in genetics linkage mapping. Hold on. Give me a second.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, they can. Be thankful, guys.
If you find the pieces of DNA, if you find that pieces of DNA tend to be inherited together, then they must map near each other. To the genetics linkage and analysis, Voss used tissues that were generated and frozen 18 years ago by crossing ocelots with tiger salamanders. It took him 3 years to perform these crosses. The first generation crosses were made in 1997, and the second generation crosses were made in 2000. Using these crosses, Voss, with study co-lead author Jeremiah Smith, identified genomic regions in the linkage mapping sense to explain certain aspects of axolotl growth and development. Other genetic mapping studies continued over the next several years. Oh, don't promise things.
Sorry.
Don't promise things, you filthy, filthy heathen.
Yeah. Bar in the chat. Build the blocks. Make the axolotl pay for it.
They kind of are. But they're getting paid in sex, so who the fuck cares? It's axolotl prostitution, I tell ya.
Yeah, we're just chopping them in half and in thirds and shit like that, and they keep growing back. I don't know what's going on.
Anyway.
They can replace their spinal cords. What the fuck?
I think it said earlier, Biotech Babe, their genetic linkage mapping? I don't know.
Link for the articles in the description.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep going on this. Fast forward to 2015, Jeremiah. Oh, hold on a second.
Oh.
I think it's the sheer amount of talking I'm doing. Had the clever idea to sequence DNA from individuals of these crosses, Voss explained, and build a genome map that allowed ordering of the approximately 125,000 large DNA pieces into whole chromosomes. It worked! Now that researchers are near completing axolotl genome, the new assembly still requires a bit of fine-tuning. More on that in a bit. They, along with others, can now go about the work of identifying the genes responsible for axolotl tissue regeneration. By doing so, scientists may eventually be able to regenerate tissue in humans, facilitating limb and skin regrowth, spinal cord repair, and organ health. This is no idle speculation. The study was funded by the U.S. National Institute of Health and the U.S. Department of Defense.
That doesn't necessarily mean anything. However, organ regeneration, yes, I need that.
The Department of Defense does mean a little bit, to be perfectly honest. They don't tend to just jump into things.
It means a little bit. It means that there's potential.
Yeah, it means that there's potential. It sounds like a good idea. Yeah. Someone was able to come in and be like, well, this might actually work. We should fund it to see if it does.
Yeah. Be really good for veterans.
Oh, God, yeah.
I probably need a new liver right now.
No, you don't. You need a whole new immune system by this point, dude. Let's be honest.
If I use alcohol to kill all the bacteria, should be okay, right?
No. Moving on. We need all of the data to begin to understand how salamanders are able to regrow tissue, said Voss. The DoD is interested in sustaining the axolotl for regenerative medicine research, given its promise to reveal regenerative repair therapies for fingers and hand injuries in battle. Like you said, that promise is now realized with a complete genome assembly. That one that's hard to pronounce is particularly excited about the potential for cardiac-related breakthroughs. Axolotls are known for their ability to regenerate their hearts, he told Gizmodo. One can cut up to 30% of its heart, and they heal their heart without any defects or scarring.
How is this ethical, these experiments that they're doing?
Well, you know, that's a good question. I don't know how this is ethical, but I'm not going to complain because fucking axolotls can regrow without scars. Or, like, holy shit. No defects or scarring. I don't know, like, it's probably not all that ethical, but at the same time, they're healing without defects or scarring. I don't know.
Yeah.
Most of it's done on pain and the potential for lasting injury and psychological issues. Well, with this, only the first and last are effective. And if you're doing it under sedation, the first one becomes irrelevant. And potentially the last one because of the lack of psychological. Now, if you're doing it, if you start experimenting on humans, they're signing waivers and stuff and you get approval. Well, fuck. I don't know. But this is why we start with animal testing, because human testing takes a lot more ethical allowances.
Yeah. Don't let the vegans hear about this. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you know what would be interesting? You introduce that to beef, you could start harvesting beef, and the cow will regenerate that. You never have to kill the cow.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, think about that one.
Can we introduce it to pigs first? Infinite bacon?
Regenerating bacon.
Ooh. I like this.
Yeah, we're not thinking too much about the regulations, Biotech Babe, but yeah, there definitely would be regulations. It's crazy.
You just cut a little steak out. Place it. A little stakeout.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's saying that there are strict regulations in animal use in research. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. But it's also
depending on where you're at.
It's also why we start with animals before we go to humans. It's a lot. It's a lot easier to get those animal tests than it would be for. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot easier. But yeah, in this case, yeah. I think that's what's going on. Anyway, during their research, Voss and Smith discovered a mutant axolotl who was unable to repair its heart. This led to the identification of a mutation in its TNNT2 gene. The identification of this gene, along with others required for axolotl generation, will in the future allow scientists to identify regenerative roadblocks in mammals. In the words of that doctor or scientist who I couldn't pronounce earlier. Jessica Whited, what a name, an assistant professor at Harvard University's Department of Stem Cell and Regenerative Biology, described the new work as a landmark study that, on its own, is a valuable resource, but also serves as an important proof of concept for genetics research into axolotls. Lab-grown meat can suck its own dick. I want the live thing. If it hasn't survived, then I can't absorb its life experiences when I eat its flesh. And those life experiences add flavor.
And this is where Rimshee and I will get into disagreement. If it can taste like the real thing, then I'm totally fine with it.
Oh, I'm fine with it existing.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know.
But would you pick up hunting at that point?
What?
Would you pick up hunting at that point?
I've considered going hunting now.
Yeah, me too. I just need to contact some buddies so that they can actually teach me everything.
In all honesty, the way I look at it, I have no problem with hunting on its own. And it looks like you got really quiet. Go ahead and talk.
Talking.
Yep, we're good. All right. So when it comes to hunting, the main reason I don't get up is to go hunting is because I'm feeling lazy about it. Also, I don't want to have to lug the thing back. If it came down to it, I would have no problem doing it, but it's just not something that I have a desire to go out and do. Also, how a lot of things go with hunting... Hold on a sec, I feel like someone's knocking at my door.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep talking.
Yeah, no one's knocking at my door, it was just me being fucking paranoid. Anyway, so... what was I saying?
Hunting. You're too lazy to get up and do it.
I'm too lazy to get up and do it. Also, a lot of the techniques used for hunting, which like stand hunting, where you're sitting there waiting for the animal or the deer to come to you, or you're doing blind hunting or something along those lines, where you're kind of just sitting in one spot and waiting. It's not exactly something I find to be all that entertaining. You're just sitting there waiting.
I've participated in a couple hunting trips. I didn't have any tags. I was just sort of there to help out and see what was going on. But they weren't doing stand hunting or anything, or hunting from blinds. It was, you go up, you see where animals are probably at, follow some trails, crouch along, try to find a spot. The 3 that I've been on only bagged 1 deer and packed it out.
Well, we should probably get back to axolotls, because our time's almost up and we're near the end of this article.
Oh shit. Okay. Good job.
Anyway, here they have made a physical map that relates many spots in the genome to one another, identifying, for example, which gene resides on the same chromosome and approximately how far apart they lie apart. Whited told Gizmodo. It is likely that increased resolution will come with further application of these techniques. However, as an axolotl research community, the C word, we should all be excited about this current work because it is a resource that we can all use in our biological studies. As noted, genome sequencing and assembly is an iterative process, so there's still work to be done. Building a chromosome level assembly for the axolotl is a major accomplishment, no doubt. But Vos and his colleagues are now looking into the next step, which is to make the assembly even bigger. Nature is amazing, and it's already solved a lot of problems for us. We just have to figure out the nuts and bolts of it all. Ultimately, tissue regeneration in humans might not work exactly like it does in salamanders, but if we can harness it in a broad way, it will be a paradigm shift for medicine.
Yeah.
That is a pretty cool deal.
Yeah. We might be able to regrow limbs. This is fucking dope. And back to the whole stem cells thing. The U.S. has a lot of regulations on stem cell research. Like, doctors, like, you can get a lot of stem cells from umbilical cords, and doctors aren't necessarily allowed to collect those and actually do a bunch of stem cell research with those. Same with amniotic fluid, all that. U.S. has a lot of regulations on that, and a lot of that comes from the Christian right, thinking that all shit's sacred. So they think they're just taking baby brains and taking their brain stems and doing research on that, but that's not what stem cells are. Yeah. And you know what? I think it's time.
Yeah, it's about time for us to call it quits. Let's end it.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us, guys. It's been great. It's been fun. Had some good articles. Found out I am constantly more of a walking satire than ever before. There's a really good joke at the beginning. If you guys missed that, then be sure to check that out when the VOD gets fully posted. That being said, join us next week. Same time, same place. Lesser Saints Discord. Rimshee and Jables. And maybe Addie.
Ideally,
have a good night,
Addie.
everybody.
Have a good night, everybody.
Howdy ho.